Hi, it's me, Ingrid, the INFP, and we're going to talk about how I deal with NTs, the NT types. Um, I I think I knew a few INTJs. Um, I was friends with an INTP when I grew up, and ENTPs, I meet them quite a bit, usually on the internet trolling. But I think I knew an ENTP in high school who was. I think I also knew one in medical school, actually. I seem to know a lot, I just don't. I haven't gotten close to any yet. Um, but we do kind of vibe on a certain level. So I do know ENTPs and ENTJs. I'm not sure I know an ENTJ close. They're supposed to be our ideal partners, but like I don't know. They're supposed to be the rarest type, so maybe that's why. Um, but like I can imagine what an ENTJ would be like, kind of. Um, I these are all the NT types, and what I love about NTs is their intuitive side. I because intuitives just love other intuitives. We're that way, um, and I do like that they don't take bullshits about the conventions of society. They don't they don't care about like hurting other people's feelings. Um, I mean, I'm talking about in general, obviously, but I like that they're in this constant, that they want to know things, they want to understand things, and they're analytical and smart, ridiculously smart sometimes. And I love the NTs. But how do we deal with NTs? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really fun, sometimes it's hurtful and sad. Um, since INFPs are dominant feelers, like that can grate on some people's nerves, um, especially NT nerves. Like they don't vibe with feeling, so they're communicating in a completely different language. So NTs, I, uh, I like I like talking to them about different topics, especially those the NTPs, because they have any, and any is a really funny function. Like it makes us very funny, and it makes them really funny. So I do like the any debate stuff. I just do not like the actual arguments part of the debate, because it makes me feel really silly and dumb, and like I can't communicate arguments really well. So I have a hard time talking to an ENTP, and I often get very hurt by some insignificant comments that they didn't mean like in a personal way, but it just they'll often tease me. NTPs, um, NTJs too. I mean, the NTs like to tease me as an INFP because they just find me so silly, and they like getting a reaction out of me, and that kind of makes me mad. And that was their intended purpose, but like it's not fun, like being on the receiving end of NT joke. Like I'll be fine with it sometimes, but like if it gets to be too much, I'll just get tired of being criticized all the time. So like then I'll withdraw and just leave. And a lot of NTs will be like, "Oh, you're just taking things too personally," but like you want to feel appreciated when you're in close to someone, and sometimes it feels like you're not being appreciated if the teasing goes too far. So that's where I end up in conflict with NDPs. I mean, NTs will often like say I'm dumb, and it's like, okay, I'm fine with it. Sorry about the camera. But like I'm fine with it. It's just it gets to me too much. So I can only like accept a certain dose of NT humor before it gets too much. I liked my INTP friend when I was growing up, because we are very close in terms of functions and stuff. It's just that they have TI instead of FI. I like how chaotic they are because it reminds me of myself, and like they can really tell the SJs to like shut it, you know. Well, for me, it's harder to deal with the SJs. For them, it's just like they don't care. They're completely in their own world, and I wish I could be like that. So I do like that about INTPs. I like how they can research about stuff and be really nerdy. I could never be as nerdy as them, and they're really smart. They're geniuses. So I love that about INTPs, and I think the INTPs kind of like us too, because we are chaotic as well. However, it feels like INTJs really like INFPs, and I don't really get why. I get that they do have the FI as their tertiary, and so they find us very cute. It's just to me, it feels like INTJs are a little bit patronizing in the way that they like us. ENTJs as well, I guess. That they find us to be like pets rather than people, and that kind of makes me uncomfortable. Like they'll see me as like this manic pixie dream kind of girl, and then they'll be like attracted to that like idealized silly notion of me. But then like secretly they'll just find me really dumb, and that's hurtful, you know. So I don't really like that about INTJs. I love how they have a vision and how they work towards getting there, and how sentimental they are underneath, and how like I went to coax out that little FI that's in there, and I went to get the little tender moments that they get whenever they pop up, but it doesn't often happen, and they're very cute when they don't know how to deal with their emotions. So I like that, and they often prize like their friends very highly, and I really I relate to that because that's how I am. So I like all the NTs. I wish I could be a little bit like them, but then at the same time, then I remember like I'm actually kind of good with people compared to a lot of NTs. NTs can be very charismatic and interesting people, and they don't take any bullshit, and I really like that. But sometimes it's a little bit hard to deal with them, because I keep wanting to come to that feeling. I want to connect feelings, and I cannot with an NT, so I need to like zap that part out of me. And like, since it's such a big part of me all the time, it's hard to get there. I also have a hard time with TE, so like I will seem very dumb next to an NT type. So I just like, I accept these things, and that's the way I can deal with them. Surprisingly enough, a lot of NT types find INFPs to be smart. I don't really see how they see that though, because like I have a hard time seeing that within myself. But I mean, it's flattering. It's nice. I'm glad. I mean, often they just they want to hang out with other NTs, and I understand. I like hanging out with NFs more. So yeah, this was about a kind of a rambly video about how I love NTs, how I find them to be really interesting, but how, you know, sometimes I wish that I could connect to them more emotionally, and I wish I could not be as personally affected by their humor. It's just work in progress. Everything is. So tell me your thoughts about NTs. I really want to hear your thoughts because I seem maybe to be one of the few INFPs who actively am not like super into INTJs. I don't know why that's a thing on the internet. But tell me what you think and have a great day. Bye bye.